Jack sat on the edge of his small bed, staring at the message on his datapad. It blinked in bright green letters. Trip confirmed. Departure in 12 hours. His hands trembled slightly, not from fear, but from excitement. He was going to another planet. Not just any planet, but Lumeria, the home of his girlfriend. Jack had met Alia 6 months ago at the Interstellar University on Earth's moon base. She had stood out from the crowd the moment she entered the lecture hall, tall, graceful, with skin that shimmered like silver under sunlight, and deep violet eyes that seemed to hold galaxies. He had never seen anyone like her before. They had been lab partners in xenobiology. What started as teamwork quickly became friendship, and soon after something deeper. Alia was kind and curious. She listened carefully, laughed at his jokes, and taught him about her people and their ways. Jack had fallen for her faster than he thought possible. Now, after months of dating, she had invited him to meet her family. Jack was honored, but also nervous. He had never left the solar system before. He had no idea what to expect on Lumeria. Would her family like him? Would they think he was strange? What if he made a mistake and embarrassed her? Alia walked into the room, her silver skin glowing softly. She smiled at him. Still thinking about it? Jack nodded. Yeah, I want to go. I just don't know what I'm walking into. She sat beside him. It's normal to be nervous. But you'll be fine. My parents are excited to meet you. My sisters too. He looked at her. You sure? I mean, I'm human. And that's why they're curious, she said gently. Humans are rare. On Lumeria, most Lemurians only see them in vids. But I told them how brave, smart, and kind you are. That's what they care about. Her words made him feel better. He took her hand. Okay, let's do this. The next morning, they boarded the shuttle at the spaceport. It was sleek, silver, and fast. As they launched into space, Jack looked out the window, watching Earth shrink behind them. His heart pounded. This was real. The journey took only a few hours thanks to Lumerian warp technology. They passed through glowing starfields and streams of light. Jack had never seen anything so beautiful. Alia pointed out different stars and systems, telling stories from her childhood. When they arrived, Lumeria took his breath away. The sky was a soft shade of blue-green, and the clouds shimmered with light. The ground below was covered in bright, glowing plants. Buildings rose like crystal towers, shining under 2 small suns. The shuttle landed on a smooth platform near a large home shaped like a blooming flower. As they stepped out, Jack took a deep breath. The air smelled sweet, almost like honey, and mint. He looked around. A group of Lemurians stood waiting. A tall man with long white hair and silver skin stepped forward. His eyes were the same deep violet as Alia's. Welcome, Jack, he said with a smile. I am Corin, Alia's father. Jack bowed slightly. Nice to meet you, sir. Thank you for having me. The pleasure is ours, Corin said. A woman joined him, her hair braided with glowing beads. I'm Rena, Alia's mother. We're very happy to meet the one who captured our daughter's heart. Jack blushed. I'm lucky to have her. 2 younger girls ran up. One looked just like Alia, but shorter. The other had green streaks in her hair. You're the human, the shorter one said, staring up at Jack. Do you eat bugs? Alia laughed. This is my sister Leary. She asks too many questions. Jack grinned. Only when I'm very hungry. The girls giggled. Inside the house, everything was soft and glowing. The walls pulsed with gentle light, and the furniture seemed to float slightly above the floor. Jack was given a room with a round bed and a view of a lake filled with shining fish. That evening, they all sat for dinner. The food looked strange blue fruits, pink meats, glowing drinks, but tasted amazing. Jack tried everything and smiled through the surprises. The family watched him with interest, but they were kind. They asked questions, listened to his answers, and laughed when he made jokes. As the sun set outside, Jack felt the tension leave his body. Maybe this wouldn't be so bad after all. Maybe, just maybe, He could belong here. The next morning, Jack woke up to a soft light filling the room. The walls of the house slowly brightened with the rising suns, like a natural alarm clock. He rubbed his eyes and looked out the window. The lake shimmered with soft colors, and strange flying creatures passed by in silence. Everything looked calm, peaceful, and very different from Earth. Alia entered the room, holding a tray of food. "Good morning," she said with a smile. "Did you sleep well?" Jack nodded. "Better than I expected. Your bed is round." "I kept turning." "All night," she laughed. "You'll get used to it. I brought you breakfast." The tray held purple fruit slices, a cup of warm golden liquid, and a flaky round bread. Jack took a bite. Sweet and crunchy. "I like it." "It's called Vela," Alia said. "Made from skyroot." After breakfast, they walked outside. The air was warm, and soft music drifted from glowing flowers. Lemurians passed by, smiling politely. Jack noticed many of them staring at him with wide eyes. Some even whispered behind their hands. "I think your people are curious," Jack said. "They are," Alia said. "Most Lemurians have never seen a human in real life. You're something new." Jack wasn't sure if he liked being the center of attention, but he tried to smile and nod at those who greeted him. They walked through a garden full of floating plants and glowing vines. Alia showed him the flowers that danced when touched, and trees that whispered in soft voices. Jack had never seen anything like it. "This place is amazing," he said. "It feels like a dream. I grew up here," Alia said. "I used to play hide and seek with Leary and Mira under that tree." They sat near a small fountain. The water sparkled like stars. "I'm glad you came," Alia said quietly. "It means a lot." "Of course I came," Jack said. "I want to know more about your world, your family." That afternoon, Corin gave Jack a tour of the city. They traveled in a floating pod that moved above the ground. Jack saw tall towers made of crystal, parks filled with strange animals, and large open markets where people sold glowing stones and singing fruits. "Our city is called Elon," Corin explained. "It is one of the oldest. Many of our traditions started here." Jack listened carefully. He didn't want to miss anything. He asked questions, and Corin answered kindly, though with a serious tone. "You must understand," Corin said. "Lemurians value respect, learning, and balance. We live in peace with our world. It is important to us," Jack nodded. "It's very different from Earth. We have some of those values, but not always." Corin gave him a thoughtful look. "Still, you came here with good intentions. That shows character." In the evening, Alia's Mother Rena invited Jack to help prepare the evening meal. He joined her in the round kitchen, where walls showed the sky outside like a moving painting. Rena handed him a fruit and a knife. "Peel this carefully. The juice can stain your skin for days." Jack laughed and worked slowly. They chopped, mixed, and steamed the food. Rena spoke softly as they worked. "Alia is special," she said. "She always followed her heart. When she told us about you, we were surprised. But I can see now why she chose you." Jack felt both proud and nervous. "I really care about her. I just want to do things right." Rena smiled. "Then you already are." At dinner, the whole family sat together again. The meal was delicious. Jack even asked for seconds of the glowing vegetable dish. Leary asked him too. "Tell a story from Earth," so Jack told them about his first ride on a hover bike. Everyone laughed at how he crashed into a trash bin after dinner. They sat outside under the twin moons. The sky sparkled with stars. Alia leaned against Jack's shoulder. "Thank you for trying so hard," she said. "I just want them to know I'm serious about you," he said. She kissed his cheek. "They're starting to see that." Suddenly, a large glowing creature flew overhead, making a low hum. Jack stood up in surprise. "What was that?" "Just a moon glider," Alia said. "They sing during the night. It's their way of greeting the stars." Jack looked up, heart full. Everything was new, strange, and sometimes overwhelming, but it was also beautiful. He felt closer to Alia than ever before. He knew this was just the beginning of something much bigger. The next day, Jack woke up feeling more relaxed. He stretched, got dressed, and stepped out into the hallway. The house was quiet, filled with a soft golden glow. He walked toward the main room where Alia was waiting for him. "Good morning," she said. "Today we visit the elders." Jack blinked. "The elders? Who are they?" "They are the leaders of our community. They guide our people and help make decisions. My parents thought it would be good for you to meet them." Jack felt his stomach twist. "Are they strict?" Alia smiled. "They are wise and serious, but fair. Just be yourself." They traveled through the city in a small pod. As they moved, Jack noticed more people watching him. Some waved, others simply stared. He tried to smile and stay calm. The elders' hall was large and round, made from soft white stone. It stood on a hill, surrounded by tall glowing trees. Inside, the air was cool and quiet. 7 elders sat in a circle. Each wore simple clothes with glowing patterns that moved like water. They looked calm and serious. One elder, an older woman with silver eyes, nodded to them. "Welcome, Jack. We have heard much about you. Please sit." Jack sat beside Alia and tried to keep his hands from shaking. "We are curious about your world," the elder woman said. "Tell us what humans value most." Jack thought for a moment. "We value freedom, family, and courage. We try to protect the ones we love." Another elder leaned forward. "And what do you want from Alia?" The question surprised him. Jack looked at Alia, then back at the elder. "I want to be with her, to learn from her, to support her, and to grow together. I didn't come for power or fame. I came because I care about her." There was a long silence. Then the first elder spoke again. "Your words are honest. We see your heart is open. That is a good beginning." Jack felt a wave of relief after the meeting. Alia and Jack walked through a market. Vendors sold bright fruits, small floating toys, and clothes made of light cloth. "You did well," Alia said. "The elders are not easy to impress." "I just told the truth," Jack said. "I meant every word." They stopped at a small shop where a friendly vendor offered Jack a glowing stone. "For good luck," the vendor said. "It's a gift." Jack accepted it with a smile. "Thank you." They returned home in the late afternoon. Jack went to rest in his room, but his thoughts were busy. He had started to understand the Lemurians more. They were peaceful and thoughtful. They watched closely and listened deeply. Everything mattered to them: words, actions, and feelings. Later, Rena invited him to a gathering in the garden. The family sat around a fire pit made of crystal. The flames were blue and gave off no smoke. Leary and Mira danced around the fire. Laughing, Corin handed Jack a cup. "This is called Silra. It's a drink we share on special nights." Jack took a sip. It was warm and sweet, with a strange but pleasant taste. As they drank, the family told stories. Alia spoke of her first time, flying a sky glider. Rena talked about meeting Corin. Then they all looked at Jack. "Your turn," Alia said with a grin. Jack thought, then told them about a camping trip with his father. They had gotten lost in the forest, but found their way using stars. The family listened with interest, asking questions and laughing at the funny parts. As the night grew darker, soft music came from the trees. Tiny glowing insects flew around, making patterns in the air. Alia leaned close to Jack. "I'm happy you're here." "Me too," he said. "This place is starting to feel like home." Just then, Corin stood and looked at Jack seriously. "You are doing well, Jack," he said. "But you must understand Lemurian life is not always easy. There will be tests. Not everyone will accept you quickly." Jack nodded. "I understand. I'm ready." Corin gave a slow nod. "Good. Then we shall see what comes next." The fire glowed brighter for a moment, and the night air seemed to hum with quiet energy. Jack looked around at the smiling faces, the strange stars above, and Alia beside him. He knew this journey was far from over, but he also knew he wasn't alone. The next morning, Jack noticed something strange. As he walked through the garden, more Lemurians seemed to be watching him, not with smiles like before, but with curious and serious eyes. Some whispered to each other. A few stepped back when he passed by. He found Alia near the lake, sitting on a floating stone. She looked calm, but her eyes showed worry. "Something's different today," Jack said. "People are acting strange." Alia nodded. "Word has spread. The elders spoke about you last night. Now many know that you're human and what that could mean." Jack sat beside her. "What do you mean?" She looked at the water. "There's something I didn't tell you before. Not because I wanted to hide it, but because I wasn't sure if it mattered yet. Humans and Lemurians are genetically compatible. Your presence here has awakened old ideas." Jack frowned. "Ideas?" "Long ago, some believed that a union between a human and a Lemurian could create something ... new. Stronger minds. Longer leaves? But humans disappeared from Lemurian space before. Any of that could happen. Now with you here, some think those old dreams could return." Jack was silent. The weight of her words pressed on him. "So they're interested in me because of my DNA?" "Some, yes," Alia said softly. "Not everyone. My family cares about who you are, not just what you are. But others may not see it that way." Later that day, Jack and Alia were invited to a large gathering in the city square. It was a festival, bright lights, floating decorations, music in the air. Jack thought it would be fun, but as soon as they arrived, all eyes turned to him. People approached with questions. A woman asked if he would be willing to share a sample of his blood. A man asked if he would speak with the Science Council. A young girl simply pointed at him and said, "That's the human." Jack felt overwhelmed. Alia stood close, her hand gripping his. One tall man with gold lines on his arms came forward. "I am Talon, from the House of Solaris," he said. "Your presence is a sign. You should meet with our family leaders. We have much to offer." Jack shook his head. "I'm not here for offers. I'm here with Alia." Talon smiled, but it did not reach his eyes. "Of course. But remember, others may not wait politely." After the festival, Jack sat quietly in his room. He stared at the glowing ceiling, feeling confused. Rena came in and sat beside him. She placed a soft hand on his arm. "I know this is a lot," she said. "You didn't ask for this attention." "I don't want to be some science project," Jack said. "I just wanted to meet Alia's family." "And you have," she said gently. "You've done more than that. You've opened hearts. But some people will always look for what they can gain. The key is to stay true to yourself." Jack nodded slowly. He appreciated her words, but the feeling in his chest didn't go away. That night, Alia came to sit with him outside. They watched the stars and listened to the singing plants. "If this becomes too much," she said, "you can go back. I won't blame you." He looked at her surprised. "Do you want me to go?" "No," she said quickly. "But I care about you. I don't want you to suffer here." He reached for her hand. "I didn't come this far to give up. I care about you too much. We'll figure this out. Together." The next day brought another surprise. A message arrived from the High Council. They requested a private meeting with Jack. Alia's father, Corin, looked at the message with a serious face. "This is rare. The High Council does not call outsiders. Should I go?" Jack asked. Corin nodded. "Yes, but go with care. Answer there questions honestly. Do not promise anything." Jack went with Alia and Corin to the tall council tower. Inside, the air was cold and quiet. 5 council members sat in silver chairs. They asked many questions about Earth, about humans, about Jack's time with a LYA dot. Then one of them asked, "Would you consider staying here and working with us? helping us study your kind. Jack thought carefully. I didn't come here to be studied. I came because I care about Alia. I'm not against helping, but I won't become something I'm not. The council members looked at each other. Then the lead member nodded. You are brave. We will respect your choice for now. As they left the building, Jack let out a deep breath. Alia took his hand. You were strong, she said. They'll remember that. Jack didn't feel strong, but he knew one thing for sure. He wasn't just a visitor anymore. He was part of something bigger now. Jack walked through the garden alone. The sky above was soft and blue, but his heart felt heavy. The meeting with the High Council had changed things. People no longer just stared at him. They followed him. Some asked questions he didn't understand. Others gave him gifts he didn't want. He sat by the glowing lake and watched the small fish move in patterns. He needed time to think. He didn't feel like himself anymore. On Earth, he was just a student. Here, he was something more, something strange. And he wasn't sure if that was a good thing. Alia found him there. She sat beside him quietly. I'm sorry, she said. I didn't know things would become like this. It's not your fault, Jack said. But I don't know what they want from. Emmy, one moment I'm your guest, the next I'm some rare gift. They want hope, she said. Some think you're a sign of change. Others want power. But I want only you, not your blood, not your past, just you. Jack looked into her eyes and felt a little better. She always spoke with honesty. That helped him feel strong. Later that day, Corin called for a meeting with Jack and Alia. They sat in the family room. The walls glowed softly, and a map of the city floated in the air. You have gained attention, Corin said. Many houses are now watching. Some may try to reach you with offers, or worse, with pressure. Jack nodded. I don't want to be used. Then you must choose your path, Corin said. You can leave now and no one will blame you. Or you can stay and stand your ground, but it won't be easy. Jack sat in silence. Then he looked at Alia. I'm not leaving. I want to stay with her, but I'll need help. Corin placed a hand on his shoulder. Then you will have it. The next few days were full of tension. Letters came from different houses, some friendly, some filled with strange requests. One letter even offered land and wealth if Jack agreed to join their family. Jack refused them all, but not everyone liked that. One evening, as he walked through the market, a group of Lemurians blocked his path. Their leader was tall with sharp eyes. Why do you reject our offers? He asked. You are only human. You should be honored. Jack stood firm. I didn't come here to be traded. I'm not for sale. The man narrowed his eyes. Then you will learn the cost of pride. Before anything else could happen, Corin arrived with 2 guards. The group quickly left, but the message was clear. Jack was not safe anymore. That night, Jack couldn't sleep. He walked outside and looked at the stars. Alia joined him. You were brave, she said. I was scared, Jack replied, but I couldn't say yes to them. I would lose who I am. Alia took his hand. You are showing him what kind of person you are. That matters more than anything. The next morning, something unexpected happened. A small group of young Lemurians came to visit. They brought simple gifts, flowers, stones, a drawing of Jack. And Alia, one girl said, you are different, but you are kind. We want to learn from you. Jack smiled for the first time in days. Thank you. That means a lot. Word spread quickly. More young Lemurians began to show support. Some even asked to hear about Earth. Jack told them stories about oceans, cities, and animals. He showed them photos from his datapad. Their eyes filled with wonder. The fear began to fade. People stopped seeing Jack as a prize and started seeing him as a person. One evening, the family held a small gathering. Friends and neighbors came. Jack stood and spoke to them. I didn't come here to be special. I came because of Alia. I came to understand her world. I never expected any of this. But I've learned something important. Respect goes both ways. I can't be part of your world if I lose who I am. There was silence at first, then slow nods and soft applause. Corin stepped forward. Tonight, we welcome not a guest, but a friend. Jack has shown us strength, honesty, and heart. These are things we value most. That night, Jack felt something. Shift. For the first time, he wasn't just a human on a strange world. He was Jack, Alia's partner, a person with a voice, and someone who had earned his place. The days passed, and things began to feel normal again. Jack walked through the streets without being stopped. People still looked at him, but now they smiled or nodded. Some waved. He had become part of the city in a quiet way. Alia was happy. She saw Jack laugh again, tell stories again, and sleep without fear. Her family also felt more at peace. The tension in the house had faded. One morning, Corin asked Jack to join him on a walk. They walked through the forest near the edge of the city. The trees hummed softly, and the ground glowed under their feet. "You've come far," Corin said. "Many people here respect you now. Not because of what you are, but because of what you've done." Jack nodded. "I didn't know how things would go. I just tried to be honest." "That is what made the difference," Corin said. "You stayed true to yourself. That is not easy, especially when so many wanted something from you." They stopped at a small cliff overlooking the sea. The water below sparkled. "Like glass. There is something else," Corin said. "The elders wish to give you an honor, a place among us, not just as Alia's partner, but as a citizen of Lumeria." Jack was quiet. "A citizen? What does that mean?" "It means you belong here," Corin said. "You will be protected. You will have a voice. You will be seen as one of us." Jack thought about it for a long moment. He looked at the sea, then at the trees, then back at Corin. "Will I still be able to be who I am? A human?" "Yes," Corin said. "This is not about changing you. It is about accepting you." That evening, a small ceremony was held. The family wore their finest robes. The garden was filled with soft lights and quiet music. Elders came. Along with neighbors and friends, Jack stood before them. He wore a robe made of light cloth, given to him by Rena. Alia stood beside him, holding his hand. The elder woman who had first spoken to him stepped forward. "Jack, you have walked among us not as a stranger, but as a seeker of peace. You have shown heart, courage, and respect. Do you accept the honor of becoming one of us?" Jack looked around. He saw the faces of people who had once feared or doubted him. Now they looked at him with hope. He saw Alia, smiling with tears in her eyes. "Yes," he said, "I accept." The elder placed a small silver band on his wrist. It glowed for a moment, then faded into his skin. The people clapped and cheered. After the ceremony, there was food, music, and laughter. Children danced. Elders told stories. Jack felt a warmth in his chest that he had never felt before. Later, he and Alia sat by the lake. "You're one of us now," she said. Jack smiled. "I think I always wanted to be. I just didn't know it." Alia leaned her head on his shoulder. "I'm proud of you. I couldn't have done it without you," he said. "You believed in me from the start." She looked up at him. "And I always will." The next day, Jack was invited to speak at the Learning Hall. Young Lemurians sat in rows, waiting to hear from the first human to become a citizen. Jack stood in front of them, a little nervous but ready. "I came here not knowing what to expect," he said. "I was scared. I was lost. But I met people who helped me, who listened, who gave me a chance. I've learned that being different is not something to fear. It's something to share." The students clapped, and many asked questions. Jack answered them with a smile. He spoke about Earth, about humans, about his journey. And most of all, he spoke about Alia. That evening, Alia and Jack walked through the city. The streets were calm. Lights floated above them. Music played from the open windows of homes. "Do you miss Earth?" Alia asked. "Sometimes," Jack said. "But I think I belong here now, with you." She squeezed his hand. "Then we'll make a life here together. Jack looked at the stars above, shining like tiny fires. He had traveled far from home. He had faced fear, doubt, and pressure. But he had found something more than he ever expected. He had found love, respect, and a new home among the stars. Time passed quickly on Lumeria. Jack grew used to his new life. Every day brought something new and different. He learned the language better, and he made many friends. People invited him to meals, games, and even festivals. He helped in the community garden, learned to cook Lumerian food, and even tried flying a sky glider with Alia's younger sister. Life felt busy, but also calm in a way he had never known on Earth. One day, Jack and Alia walked together by the lake where they first talked about their worries. Now, those worries seemed far away. Alia looked at him and smiled. "Are you happy here?" she asked. Jack nodded. "I am. I never thought I would feel this way in a new world. I miss some things from Earth, but I have everything I need here." Alia took his hand. "You have changed us too. You helped my family and others see that being different can be good." They sat under a tall tree, its leaves glowing gently in the fading light. The sky above them turned deep blue, and the two moons began to rise. As evening came, the city started. A celebration. It was a festival to honor unity and peace. People from all parts of Lumeria gathered. There was music, food, and laughter everywhere. Alia's family invited Jack to join them at the main table in the city square. Corin stood and raised his glass. "Tonight we celebrate something special. We welcome not only a new citizen, but also a new way of thinking. Jack showed us courage, honesty, and respect. We are better for it." The crowd cheered. Jack felt his face grow warm. He stood to speak, nervous but ready. "Thank you for making me part of your world," he said. "I came here scared and alone. Now I have a family and a home. I hope we can keep learning from each other." People clapped and smiled. Some even came to shake his hand or hug him. The celebration lasted long into the night. There was dancing and singing, and Jack tried every dish the cooks brought to the table. After the festival, Jack and Alia walked through the quiet streets. Lanterns floated above them, and the air was filled with the soft music of the night insects. "Do you think humans and Lemurians will always get along?" Alia asked quietly. Jack thought for a moment. "It will take time. Not everyone will understand. But I think we've started something good, and I'll do my best to help." They reached Alia's family house. The family waited for them outside. Rena hugged Jack. "You are part of our family now." Even Leary, who had once asked so many questions, gave Jack a bracelet she had made from lake stones. "You are my brother now," she said. Jack smiled and thanked her. He realized he really belonged here. He had family, friends, and a place to call home. In the days that followed, Jack worked with Alia and others to build a program. At the university, the program invited students from other planets, including Earth, to study and live together. Jack spoke to groups about his journey and what he learned about respect and kindness. Letters began to arrive from humans who wanted to visit Lumeria. Some Lemurians also wanted to see Earth. The two worlds grew closer every day. Alia and Jack sometimes visited Earth together. They met Jack's family, who were happy to see that he had found a place where he was valued. Jack's parents hugged Alia and thanked her for loving their son. On their last visit to Earth, Jack looked up at the stars. He knew he could always go back, but he also knew where his heart truly belonged. Lumeria was his home now. Jack and Alia sat together, looking at the stars from the garden. The future was still full of unknowns, but Jack was no longer afraid. He knew he could face anything as long as he had Alia by his side. He thought about everything he had learned, how being different was not a problem, but a gift. How respect and kindness could change hearts. And how two worlds, so far apart, could come together because of a single choice. The night was quiet, filled with hope. Jack closed his eyes and smiled. knowing he was exactly where he belonged.